Hello, thanks everybody. Really excited for you all to be here today. I'm Ben Pruden with Elastic, and I'm joined by Eric Hall. We'll introduce ourselves here in just a second, but we're here to talk through with you all the total economic impact of Elastic Observability and Elastic Security. This was a series of interviews and analysis that Forrester and Eric did with us over this past year, and we're here to talk through what the results are and what you can take away from them. So let's just jump into who we are so you can learn a little bit more about us. Eric, would you mind introducing yourself?
Yeah, hi everybody. I'm a TEI consultant at Forrester, and I look forward to discussing the journey that 4 customers of Elastic took in observability and security use of Elasticsearch. Thank you.
Thanks, Eric. And as I mentioned, I'm Ben Pruden. I lead our industry solution and value team here at Elastic. So I'm really focused on what it is that our customers are doing with our technology, how they're building their own solutions, or we're leveraging our out-of-the-box capabilities to do that, and then what the ultimate economic impact and value of those solutions are. So before we jump into the results of the study, I just want to walk through for a minute the timeline and the process that we went through with Eric and the Forrester team. And in particular, I want to call out a lot of the innovation that we have subsequently released during the TEI process. So we kicked off this process in August of our fiscal year 21, which is the calendar year 2020. So that's what you're seeing right here in that August timeframe of last year. We went through a setup process. We did a number of customer interviews that Eric led without my participation. It's very important that nobody from Elastic participates in those customer interviews. Ultimately, then the results of those customer interviews follow with the writing of the study and the preparing of that initial study announcement, and then ultimately our ongoing promotion of the results of the study. But what I want to just call out briefly is that we've continued to innovate throughout all of our different solutions that we're focused on in the study, and that's not necessarily captured in the study results. So Forrester has a requirement that at least 6 months of use has occurred with a customer prior to the sharing of the results associated with new capabilities. So whether you're looking at, our new user experience monitoring app with observability, or infrastructure anomaly detection with one-click machine learning, pre-built detections for Azure or Google Cloud and Zoom, all the way through to visualizing your data faster with Kibana Lens. Those things were not necessarily included. And then you fast forward to, of course, present day. Some of our most recent announcements around enhanced threat detection, limitless XDR, or runtime fields, supervised machine learning, the cold and frozen tier for Elastic. Those new capabilities that are more enhanced from some of our other versions of them were not necessarily captured in the results that you're about to hear about. So just a way of saying, we know that there's some great results that you're about to learn from Eric and from Forrester, but just keep in mind that we're continuing to invest in you and into the platform so that you can continue to accelerate your business results from Elastic. So with no further ado, I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to Eric, and I'll jump in here and there, but Eric, take it away.
Okay, thank you, Ben. So we've already gone through introducing ourselves, but what I'm going to do agenda-wise is go through what a TEI is, provide you an executive summary of results, and then go through the customer journeys, presenting it through benefits and costs and stories. And then we'll look at the study results once again. One thing to note, this presentation is obviously a bridge version of the study, meaning that the study, I think, is 24 or 25 pages long, and that can't be presented well in a 20-minute presentation. So let's continue. This customer's experience speaks to the ease of ingesting data into Elastic and the ease of use of analyzing data within Elastic. Note that this interviewee not only self-implemented a POC, but he was able to create the production process himself to ingest all of their data sources into Elastic. So the TEI is is a proven methodology that Forrester has been doing for over 10 years. Companies ask Forrester to perform an independent study to validate what they are hearing from customers. We go beyond the total cost of ownership or a basic return on investment study and provide things like beyond the financial story, but the customer journey, things like flexibility that the solution provides and the handling of risks. So Ben covered this slightly already. So I'm just going to highlight that we go through a due diligence process of interviewing people within Elastic, looking at different materials that they supply us to look at. And we include a Forrester analyst or more in every single study. Also, there were 4 customers in this study that we interviewed. So the 4 customers in the study use Elastic for observability and security, as I mentioned before, some individually and some both. Benefiting from Elastic Stack solution, customers are able to easily ingest, integrate, and analyze in near real time using advanced analytics, strong visualizations, and alerts. So this is the executive summary. So basically, we create a composite organization. In this case, represented by a multi-billion-dollar company with over 500 employees and 1.5 petabytes of log files and other sources. The return on investment was 358%. The benefits were over $19 million and the net present value of around $15 million. And this is over a 3-year period of time. Now I'm going to go into more details on those benefits. First quote. So Elastic provides both observability and cybersecurity customers with advanced analytics off of near real-time data, as I said a moment ago, which allows them to be more proactive. With this, they are able to drastically reduce the frequency and magnitude of user disruptions and cybersecurity incidences. So let me introduce the 4 companies. They are in a blend of industries, as you can see: technology, retail, financial services. There 2 are using Elastic Observability. 1 is using only cybersecurity, and 1 is using both. I want to add that the composite organization represents a company with both observability and cybersecurity, but we were not able to have a synergy presentation in the financial results of having shared data between them because we didn't have enough cases for that. So the composite organization, as I said before, it's a multi-million-dollar company, 50,000 or more employees, 1.5 petabytes of security and observability data, and basically a global, it's a global company. Now, the customers all shared similar pain points. Most was integration of data issues, slow response times, and high storage costs. Key findings from the investment in Elastic included exceeding requirements by supporting unplanned use cases, strong machine learning and statistical capabilities that are used to focus on abnormal behavior, and the ability to have more data at a lower cost while providing fast response times. So now we're going to look at the benefits in more detail. So in looking at the observability benefits, the first one is labor productivities in the monitoring organization, labor productivities next for developers, and benefits associated with machine learning and regression capabilities. Second, we're going to go into more detail on security, where the biggest single savings for the whole study was reducing the cost of data breaches. There are also labor savings within the SOC. And finally, infrastructure and labor cost savings that were associated for both together. The first observability benefit is operational monitoring labor improvements. Customers were able to reallocate existing monitoring resources while being able to reduce additional staffing associated with growth by 50% better than the prior solution with the prior solution. Much of the quote goes beyond observability here. We call our forecasting mechanism pre-mortem, identifying developing problems days to months in advance of when they would occur if we didn't have Elastic ML. Our service level is 99.99%. The second observability benefit is labor savings for developers. What stands out here for me was that there's a partnership between developers and the monitoring teams that didn't exist before. And furthermore, the developers are utilizing Elastic from the time they begin development, producing better applications as a result. The third is non-observability use cases that weren't in the decision of bringing in Elastic. So add-on solutions. So Elastic is being used for data center demand forecasting, for example. And also this quote represents a use case that improves the end customer experience. So this is the customer of the business itself. We are using Elastic ML to make recommendations to streaming service users based upon their historical use. So this would be like a Netflix recommending movies or shows for a client.
Yeah, these are really great examples. Thanks for showcasing these quotes, Eric. Two things pop out. One is this whole kind of collaboration between developers and the monitoring team, and how accessibility to data really improves their relationship. I know it's not in the quantified benefits, but it also kind of brings forward the whole idea of basically improved employee and developer satisfaction, as well as IT team satisfaction through the use of that and the collaboration around that data. Is that something that came through to you in the study as well?
Yeah, so I actually was going to bring that up because we cover unquantified benefits, and both on the observability and the security side, the employees you showed they didn't have formal surveys, but they felt that there was improved retention even with people within their groups because they're happier with what they're doing. Developers don't like the feedback when you're going through testing, QA, and having to go adjust things, and QA has gone down. So
yeah, that's great. And I love this other example here of using the log files and basically the clickstream analytics of people interacting with an application to then use that same data and repurpose that data for a recommendation engine for streaming services. That's just, we think of Elastic as you can use it to turn a system of record into system of engagement, and this is a great example of that.
Yep. And I actually interviewed the streaming service monitoring manager, and he was the one that caught the opportunity, and they took it. They went with it, and it went to production. So yeah, way cool.
Very cool.
Okay, let's move on. All right. So for security, as I mentioned numerous different improvements previously in support of their implementation, leading to reduction in security risk. I want to stress here that the customer's experience that the data integration helps identify incidences and shortens the time to identify root cause, leading to a reduced frequency of incidences, a reduced resolution time when incidences occur, and the cost of an average incident is also reduced. So 3 wins across the board, and that led to the major results of the $6.5 million for the composite organization. Then the other is, just like observability, there are labor productivities both initially and with business growth.
Yeah, also really cool. I mean, these are both really neat. The amazing thing is just the speed by which you're able to get those detections back in order to reduce the risk of data breach and or associated employee risk, basically. But in addition to that, seeing the customers that you interviewed, we haven't had our detection engine out for a very long time. It's been a little while, but it's really great to hear already from the community and folks in it that all the benefit they're getting as a result of improved investigation times.
Then the the final benefit is reduced infrastructure and licensing costs. And so the cost of Elastic had a lower rate than the prior customers, but think got even better because of Elastic's speed. Customers were able to move certain things that didn't need to be near real time into other cheaper storage schemes. So they not only save money on hardware, but Elastic has pricing that supports them saving money for the lower storage schemes.
Yeah, we like to say that our warm is equivalent to some of our incumbents hot. So that's what comes through here. It's cool. Thank you.
So as I said earlier, we also talk about unquantified benefits, things that we couldn't get directly numbers for based upon, we only interview one person per client. So one one I was going to call out was the employee satisfaction, but I will say that end user satisfaction also was found to be true for these clients. Another thing I really want to call out is Elastic's common schema, because what it does is simplifies implementation, maintenance, and operational activities. And another key one is developer productivities translate to faster time to market for applications. Since we only interviewed one person, we did not get somebody on the delivery of application side or whatever, the operational side that could say, hey, how much that translated into new dollars, be it revenue or other internal savings by getting applications out sooner. Flexibility and agility are frequently quite important value features. I previously mentioned use cases that led to business value, one for the data center sizing, the other for the end customer features. I want to add that Elastic allowed agile adjustments to focus on phishing attacks and other threats that became more prevalent as a result of the pandemic. I think that's just shows the agility of Elastic. So basically, implementation effort, it varied tremendously between clients. I described the one client that their security analyst actually did the production API connections of data sources to Elastic to create a system. But on average, the composite found that it was about $50,000 of consulting or internal costs to do the implementation. And then the licensing costs obviously come into play, which were offset by the prior licensing cost savings that were showed on the other screen. So just to re-summarize, over a 3-year risk-adjusted study, the return for the composite organization was 358% return on investment and a net present value of approximately $15 million. You can see the cash flow on the side.
All right. Well, thank you for covering all that, Eric. That's really great. I just want to, mention, as Eric said at the beginning, there were some really rich findings. I think I counted once. There's something like 26 different quotes that we had throughout the study, as well as a lot of really great commentary from Eric and about the various different results that he found. So we definitely encourage you to download and have a review of that study yourself. You can go to the shortened URL of ela.st/TEI-2021 if you want to do that. So that'll take you to the download landing page. There's a little form you have to fill out before you can get it. But we encourage you to do that. All right. Well, thanks, Eric. So I'm really grateful to share these results with our audience here at our Elasticon Global Tour. I hope you all found this really insightful and helpful for you as you're on your Elastic journey.